Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Contemplation brought to you by Spotlight Recovery. I'm your host, Lucas. It is February the 21st, 2024. Today, we're going to be reading a reflection I got out of the NA Just for Today. Once I saw the title, I immediately was like, yep, that's me. I resonate with that completely. So this one popped out before I even started reading it. I knew this was going to be a good one. So I'll pop it up on the screen here. Please feel free to read along, and let's get into it. So, self-pity or recovery? It's our choice. February 21st. Self-pity is one of the most destructive of defects. It will drain us of all positive energy. From the NA Basic Text, page 80. In active addiction, many of us used self-pity as a survival mechanism. We didn't believe there was an alternative to living in our disease. Or perhaps we didn't want to believe. As long as we could feel sorry for ourselves and blame someone else for our troubles, we didn't have to accept the consequences of our actions. Believing ourselves powerless to change, we didn't have to accept the need for change. Using this survival mechanism kept us from entering recovery and led us closer, day by day, to self-destruction. Self-pity is a tool of our disease. We need to stop using it and learn instead to use the new tools we find in the NA program. We have come to believe that effective help is available for us. When we seek that help, finding it in the NA program, self-pity is displaced by gratitude. Many tools are at our disposal: the 12 steps, the support of our sponsor, the fellowship of other recovering addicts, and the care of our higher power. The availability of all these tools is more than enough reason to be grateful. We no longer live in isolation. Without hope, we have certain help at hand for anything we may face. The surest way to become grateful is to take advantage of the help available to us in the NA program and to live and to experience the improvement the program will bring in our lives. Just for today, I will be grateful for the hope NA has given me. I will cultivate my recovery and stop cultivating self-pity. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, my God, is that me to a T? Good Lord. Ugh. It's like embarrassing to say this on the internet, but it really is. Oh, God. Yeah, this is one of my biggest character defects. This is one of the biggest things that I struggle with the most. This is one of the things that I learned very early on to tie into one of my other biggest character defects, which is manipulation, and then use those as like my wielded weapon throughout my life in addiction. You know, growing up wasn't the greatest and safest experience for me, and so I used that. So of course, I immediately then feel self-pity, right? Oh my God, why is all this happening to me? This is so unfair, wah. So then I'll go and then I would start telling other people that through a certain lens. So then that self-pity becomes, oh, feel bad for me. Look at all that happened. Oh my God, I'm a victim. And so then you tell that to folks, oh my God, Lucas, that's so terrible. What do you need? How can we help you? What can we give you? What can we do for you? And my disease, you know, sitting down in the back of my mind, it's like the little guy behind the green curtain in Wizard of Oz is sitting there just like, excellent. Yes, do my bidding. Like that's how it all resonates for me for my disease. Like it's very linear. It's very straightforward. It just took me years of step work and therapy to figure out that that's what was happening, you know, and it gets really murky and complicated because when you have bad things happen to you and things will feel bad and be terrible and be unfair, yeah, everyone's allowed a pity party for some amount of time. That's totally reasonable. And no, it's not fair. And yes, it sucks that happened to you. And no, it shouldn't be. And it shouldn't happen to anyone. All of that. Like, that's all true. If you're still living in that and hanging on to that and using that as your weapon and as your justification for everything else, and especially for your behavior, however many years down the road, as you've kind of overstayed your welcome on that one. The gas has kind of run out on that story. That one, that's just not going to cut it anymore. It's same with like how we would say sorry and apologize all the time in active addiction, and then recovery, doing the amends thing, is a whole other world, because you say someone, oh yeah, I'm sorry, and they're like, yeah, that word's kind of run out with you. It's the same thing, and so again, I'm saying this and knowing it because I do this like a motherfucker. Okay, this is one of the biggest things I still have to work on and let go of and get over things. So believe me, this is like a preaching to the choir, talking to myself with you sort of situation. Okay. And the timing of this is amazing, because I literally earlier this morning had a therapy session, and this was the main point. This was the main thing that was coming up. I've got just some old family history that I am really, really needing to just get over and move on and let go of. And there's a part of it, yeah, I'm still totally playing the self-pity mini violin for myself, and focused on their behavior instead of on mine, and the choices that I can be making and the person I can choose to be in this relationship and situation. So the timing of this is nuts. So there's another video that I've either done or I'm coming up with recently, just talking about the concept of coincidence and how I don't believe in coincidence. I think it's God's anonymity. Exact same thing. I have a therapy session completely on this topic this morning, and then I'm ready to do this video, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling NA today. Let's check out the just for today. Boom. This is the reading. Unbelievable. No coincidence in my recovery world. Absolutely not. So anyway, I hope I'm not the only one that's resonating with this and this language, and what this reading talks about. But yeah, this was a huge one for me, and it's something I just got to keep working on. And I love it's true. It's our choice. The same with on how we choose, how we feel, how we act, how we think. These are all our choices. So that's something I really need to keep working on more, is choosing recovery over this self-pity. Choosing to move on from this past and let go of all these things. Choosing to be the person that I want to be in these different situations when they come up. And I'm shown that proverbial fork in the road of, well, okay, who do you want to be in this situation? Do you want to go have another pity party, or do you want to grow up a little bit? Maybe a bit of a better person, pretty simply put. So yeah, those are things I really need to be working on. That really stood out for me with this. And I love to, and the just other things it talks about, using it as a survival mechanism. Absolutely. I totally did early on. And in some cases, like when you're young enough, or it's childhood or whatever, like some of the things can absolutely be justified. I'm a pretty big bearded looking child now, so that game is over. So there's the one. And then the other two, how it talks about, it just gives you some immediate direction on it and some support. It's like, yes, choose recovery over self-pity. And again, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. Go to meetings, get a sponsor, have a home group, have fellowship, other friends in the program, a concept of a higher power. Like, you have all these other tools that you can replace self-pity with that are much healthier for you and better, and will help you process and learn these things and grow from them and all of that. And just that, wrapping up that message on gratitude. I know for me, reading it, it does feel like a bit of a jump. There's a lot of steps and a lot of work in between to going from, it's not just like a light switch, or like, I'm just going to go from self-pity to gratitude. Like, hell no. That's like a ton of little steps in between for me to work there, learn them, and then I got to keep working them and repeating them depending on the situation, because my disease isn't going anywhere. My character defects are always going to be accessible to me if I choose to use them. So I need to be choosing recovery more and doing more of this work around that stuff. But it's true. It has been from my experience that you can eventually, and through this work, with the right perspective, right? We have a disease of perception. So with a better perception, you can be replacing that with gratitude, right? Being grateful for all of liberating yourself from those feelings, and being grateful for choosing to be a better person, and then doing the work, making the choice to do the work, then to work towards these, to learn the tools and the skills, to admit your part in it and when you're wrong in it, and get over it and let go and move on from all these things, right? Being grateful for all of those experiences, and then all of how that feels. I think that's probably the biggest thing at the end of it all, where the gratitude comes through for me the most, is then how much better it feels. Like, that's a part of the real freedom. Not being chained to my past anymore and hanging on to that, and then also throwing that at other people, and then I'm just hurting them, and I have to apologize for that too. Ugh. I literally have to do that in my life right now, so wish me luck. But yeah, being grateful for the liberation from all those feelings and those old behaviors. Those are the things that really stand out for me with that. And like I've said before, if these are things that are standing out to you and you're not quite sure how to get there, send me an email, lucas@spotlightrecovery.com. I do recovery coaching with folks, and I'd be happy to work through these exercises with you and help teach and show you more on how you can do this and incorporate it more into your life. And for everybody else that's watching, what stands out for you in this? Throw it down in the comments. How do you relate with self-pity versus recovery? Is it a choice or not? What do you think? What stands out for you? What are your experiences around this? Again, your shares contribute to the community, give more people things to draw from that they can help and learn and grow from, and that share can help somebody, and that's the whole point of this. So please do it. As well as all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're resonating with the content, if you feel it's helping you or you think it could help somebody else. And then check out the description for all the other information we've got there. If you like this content and is what the channel's putting out and the work that we are doing, please consider donating, becoming a member, getting yourself some branded merch. All of that really helps. It just helps us put out more content like this so we can help more people in recovery, and that's the whole point. And there's other resources in there for you too: recovery coaching videos, a podcast, network of other service providers. So check them all out. Okay, so thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, San Diego, for another Coffee and Contemplation. I wish you a blessed 24, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.